How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. Today we're looking at some unknown creepy rooms. From a dungeon discovered underneath an apartment block to an entire town found underneath Moscow. Join us as we take a look at the 10 creepiest secret rooms ever discovered. And before we get into it, remember to hit that subscribe button for more awesome creepy content just like this.
Formerly located at 63rd and Wallace Streets in Englewood, Chicago's Murder Castle was said to be the site of several grisly murders committed by con artist and serial killer Herman Webster Mudgett. Mudgett, who was better known as H.H. Holmes, moved to Chicago in August 1886. He found a job working at a local drugstore where he proved to be a hard-working employee. He soon bought the store and, in 1887, began construction on a 2-story building across the road. The building had apartments on the second floor with retail space below. During construction, Furniture Supplies discovered that Holmes was hiding their materials, for which he never paid, in hidden rooms and passageways throughout the building. He was believed to have used these rooms and passages to hide and eventually dispose of many of his victims. He also reportedly had a gas tank, acid vat, and cremation stove hidden in the basement to help dispose of the evidence. Holmes was eventually caught and executed on the 7th of May 1896 for the murder of his friend Benjamin Pitezel. While in custody, he confessed to 27 murders, but some estimated that he may have killed as many as 200. The Murder Castle was destroyed in 1938, replaced by the Englewood Post Office, which still stands to this day. An Australian man was shocked to discover a secret basement hidden below his new house. He found the room after noticing that a patch of carpet seemed to sag in one of the rooms. He tore up the carpet and found a hatch underneath that had been boarded up. The room was full of old broken bed frames and there were power cables running into the room from above. The creepiest part of his discovery, however, was a copy of a recent newspaper and a fireplace that looked as though it had been used not that long ago. What was this mysterious room actually used for, and why was it boarded up and covered with carpet? Were there people living down there, and if so, how long had they been gone for? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. In 2013, police made an unbelievable discovery under the streets of Moscow, Russia. Below the former Cherkasovsky market, they uncovered an underground city that was home to around 260 migrant workers who were in the country illegally. The setup, which was running as an illegal sweatshop, included workshops filled with sewing machines, dormitories, a cinema, bar, cafe, and even a casino. The undocumented workers were all arrested and the underground city was immediately shut down. In 2010, the residents of a home in Shropshire, UK decided to see what was hidden below a mysterious metal grate in their floor. After a few drinks, they plucked up the courage to take a peek. 2 family members managed to squeeze through the hole, and to their amazement, it led to a secret underground room that resembled some sort of ancient chapel. On one side there was brick seating, while a large wooden cross lay in the middle of the floor. On the ceiling there were several large hooks that looked as though they may have been used to hang meat. A local historian was brought in to investigate. He thought that the room may have even dated back to the 1700s, where it could have been used as a secret place of worship. During that time, people were executed for practicing Catholicism, and so ceremonies were sometimes held in secret underground churches. In 2013, a group of Ohio State College students started hearing strange noises coming from the basement of their off-campus house. In addition, the power kept going out on the 3rd floor and they began to notice weird things happening around the house. Drawers were left open and the lights were mysteriously turned on. On one occasion, one of the residents saw a mysterious man in the basement. When questioned, the man said his name was Jeremy and then left the house before he could be quizzed any further. Thinking that the house may have been haunted, the students decided to investigate. In the basement, they noticed a mysterious door that had always been locked and none of the residents had a key that could open it. After hearing more noises coming from the basement, the students decided to call their landlord as well as the police. They pried open the door and discovered a room inside, complete with a bed, photos, and a TV. The students realized that the man named Jeremy that they had seen previously had actually been living in their house the whole time without them even knowing. Once the room was discovered, Jeremy packed his belongings and left. When Reddit user Imberjack moved into his new house in a suburb of Illinois, he discovered a strange hatch on the wall. When he opened it, he discovered something extremely creepy. The hatch led to a narrow area that was designed to store a hot water heater, behind which was a small black door. The door was locked, but the Reddit user managed to jimmy his way inside. It led to another room completely covered from floor to ceiling in soundproofing board and plastic tarp. The room was completely empty except for an old briefcase and a small black lockbox. He opened the briefcase. There were some envelopes inside that contained paper money from various countries, as well as 4 small silver ingots and an old wooden jewelry box. The box contained 2 watches and some old rings. Next, he opened the lockbox. It was filled with old VHS camcorder tapes. The first one he picked up had the word "no" written all over it. He removed the tapes from the box. Below them, he found a note written in dripping ink that read, "Save yourself." When the photos were first posted to Reddit, it caused quite a stir. Some thought it had to be a hoax, but the poster claimed that the find was genuine. Why was the room covered in soundproof boarding and plastic sheeting? What sort of sinister things could have taken place in this secret room? Surely whatever was on those tapes would reveal the truth. The poster, however, was unable to view the videos as he didn't have a device to watch them on. Let us know what you think could be on those tapes in the comments section below. A student who had recently moved into a house owned by his parents in New Mexico was shocked to discover it had a creepy secret room. When he began to hear banging coming from under the floorboards, he decided to investigate. He discovered there was a secret door hidden in the pantry which led to an underground room. The room, which had working lights, contained a single desk and the remains of a cigarette which had recently been smoked. Thankfully, after the student discovered the secret room, the mysterious inhabitant never returned. In 2005, Jason and Kerry Brown bought a 5-bedroom house that was in foreclosure in Greenville, South Carolina. When they began renovations on the house, they discovered a passageway hidden behind some bookcases in one of the bedrooms. The passageway led to a secret room that contained a chilling note. The note read, "You found it. Hello, if you're reading this, then you've found the secret room. I owned this house for a short while and it was discovered to have a serious mold problem. One that actually made my children very sick to the point we had to move out." The note included an email address of the previous resident who urged whoever found it to contact them. The Browns discovered that the house used to belong to George and Tricia Leventis, who lived there with their 2 daughters. They learned that the Leventises were forced to move out when they discovered that the house was contaminated with toxic black mold, which was making their daughters very sick. The Leventises contacted the mortgage company to warn them of the problem, but they never heard back. Eventually, the Leventises were forced to declare bankruptcy and the house was put up for sale. They contacted the realtor and left several messages about the mold, but again never heard back. Concerned that the mold could make someone else sick, George Leventis decided to write a note and hide it in the secret room, a place he knew the realtor would never find it. The Browns moved out and eventually sued the Home Loan Corporation, claiming that they knew about the toxic mold the whole time. As for the secret room, neither the Browns nor the Leventises ever discovered what it was originally used for. Built in the early 1900s, Singer Castle is located near the Canadian and US border on Dark Island, New York. Originally home to Frederick Gilbert Bourne, president of the Singer Sewing Machine Company, the castle is riddled with secret rooms and passageways. The castle has an underground dungeon, and the library even had a secret panel that could be opened by pulling a certain book on one of the shelves. It was rumoured that Bourne used the hidden passageways to eavesdrop on his guests to find out what they really thought of him. Today, Singer Castle is open to the public with guided tours of the many secrets the property holds. If you're game enough, you can even spend the night in one of the many rooms. Before we get to that number 1 spot and take a look at a hidden creepy room in an old 19th century English monastery, remember to hit that subscribe button and turn on channel notifications. That way you'll be up to date with all our latest creepy content. In 2013, Reddit user Dempsey7 posted several photos of a secret room he found beneath his home. He had recently moved into the building, which was an old 19th century English monastery that had been converted into apartments. He noticed there was a wooden hatch on the floor near his bathroom and decided to open it up to see where it led. At first, he thought it was just a small storage space filled with tools that were left behind by the previous owner. But on closer inspection, he realized that the space was actually much larger. He discovered there was a series of passageways that led underneath the entire building. He made his way into an old room that had graffiti on the wall. It meant someone had been down there recently. In the corner of the room was a raised stone area, perhaps an altar or even a crypt. He noticed there was an area in the middle of the floor where the bricks had been removed, as though someone had buried something underneath. Dempsey 7 claimed that there was no mention of the underground space on his lease and that he had no idea what the mysterious room could have been used for. What do you think? Was the room part of the old monastery, or could it have been built for some other sinister purpose? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.
Well, that's the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you can't get enough of the old slapped ham, there's an embedded link there, or there's some playlist links in the description box below. Slap that upward facing thumb if you're enjoying the content. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.